So basically, Luke is saying that the people that didn't take all the extra actions are on a forked altcoin.
Argue and debate and talk, your reasons and go back and forth and debate stuff like that. But, there's no need to be a dick. Just let people say face. We need these people. We need the hardcore, remnant. Fortunately, there's many still in Bitcoin, but there's many that were going off another direction. The energy is the game, whether it's the AI and the compute, or it's Bitcoin saving your time and energy, or humans showing up.
Gents and empty room, let's
I pulled a Walker.
Nonetheless, let's take a peek at this tweet from Luke about what happened with the 110 activation attempt over the weekend. So again, just to kind of, I guess, sum it up, the block came where mandatory signaling was necessary, where 110 signaling nodes would not accept any blocks that were from miners that were not signaling for 110. And so what ended up happening was 2 blocks initially were mined, and then basically the chain stalled out. At one point, the individuals that were mining on that chain basically called it and said, like, we can't continue to do this. It's not economically viable. And so they dropped out as well. And it pretty much grinded to a halt. And Bitcoin just kept pumping out blocks. And so in terms of support, it wasn't just hash that was not in the affirmative. In terms of node count, like the highest numbers we saw were in the realm of 25%, I think, somewhere in that range. I don't have exact numbers in front of me, but mid to high 20s, something like that, in percentage wise. So still not a majority of nodes. We also didn't see exchanges across the board. I don't think I saw a single exchange saying, like, this is where 110 will be Bitcoin on the exchange. So furthermore, hash, if they were mining 110, they didn't have the liquidity or anywhere to offload them to cover their expenses. Businesses pretty much across the board, yeah, there was a list, but it wasn't by any means an extensive list. Wallet providers, I know Mana Bitcoin was pro 110, but like outside of that, most Bitcoin users actually don't by default run nodes. Like it's a very niche of the niche that are actually running nodes. The average person, if they have a self-custody Bitcoin wallet, they probably just have a wallet on their phone and is defaulting to whatever the default is. And I didn't see any of the defaults switched to 110. Pretty much all of the infrastructure, the businesses, the exchanges, the hash, every facet, the only thing that was a little bit higher was the nodes, but it was still a minority, right? It was still 20
developers
something
too.
percent. Developers as well, right? And so across the board,
defaults, like lots of wasn't a default on start 9 to be signaling as well, or did I misunderstand?
No, but it was a one click, so you could choose. So they didn't.
It was still opt in though.
Yeah. Okay, so like if you wanted to run knots, then you would be signaling BIP 110. If you wanted to run core, but you choose the implementation that you download. It's not by default, it goes with anything. But I do want to show the framing from Luke here in and around what happened and kind of contrast. And so I guarantee some people are going to look at this and be like, no, this is the truth. But here we go. I like that it started with facts. 1, Saturday, bad actors attempted a contentious hard fork with the purpose of forcing users to distribute CSAM. This spawned a new scam coin with an airdrop I call BPedo. So basically, Luke is saying that the existing Bitcoin that continued to make blocks and that users that had been using it made no changes whatsoever and the chain just continued. And if you did nothing, you noticed nothing. And the people that actively switched the implementation they were running and made this signal and this user activated soft fork that then ground to a halt. He's saying the people that didn't take all the extra actions are on a forked altcoin. So that's number one that he's saying here. Number two, most formerly Bitcoin pools, a small handful of people, then began to attack the Bitcoin network to try and deceive the world into thinking BPETO is the real Bitcoin. Again, like the miners apparently colluding to make this the real Bitcoin.
They
They're
colluded
just
to do nothing. They changed absolutely nothing. They just continued
Yeah.
forward in a collusion to continue forward, not doing anything, not talking to one another.
And once again, Ocean, who made the change with the default to 110, was the one that then had to be like, listen, we're moving our defaults back because we will split off, and our users, they had put 110 signaling as a default. They had to revert back because customers would basically be mining a chain, and they only had like max 2 to 3% of hash. So customers were being impacted. 3, people who aren't using full nodes are easily fooled because they don't validate the blockchain. Upgrading to a full node, such as the latest release of Nonce, will put you back on the Bitcoin network. Again, even 75% of the people that are running nodes did not agree with the change or did not pursue the change. And it was a change. And it was a protocol change. Again, there's a difference between protocol and defaults. You can absolutely say that the change in the defaults was not desirable. I'd probably echo that. But we have to be precise there. And then 4, community-led mitigation are in progress to overcome the ongoing attack on the Bitcoin network and restore its full functionality, and update these mitigations is expected by September 1st. So basically, what is being proposed is a hard fork, a change to proof of work, and an entirely new coin that will be claimed to be Bitcoin. But again, the people that continued running the same implementation that hasn't, like the actual consensus has not changed, and the people that just continued using Bitcoin have noticed no difference in terms of having to like duck, dodge, and weave. There's not been any change. The miners didn't change anything. The users didn't change anything. The people that weren't running 110 didn't change anything. The businesses, the exchanges, nobody changed anything. The people that were pro 110 did make changes and had, even a majority, like if none of the hash had agreed with it, let's say not a single miner agreed with it, but every other facet of Bitcoin did. All the users, all the exchanges, all the businesses, all of that stuff. Miners would have to go and mine what the users want, right? They are a service. They are paid by the users effectively. But it wasn't the reality of the consensus, right? Like that wasn't what was happening. It was a very different story in 2017. And that's because the activation of SegWit was pretty much unanimous across the board. And it was miners holding it up, but it was one miner. It was Bitmain, because they had an unfair advantage with something called ASIC boost. And nobody knew about ASIC boost. It was all kind of hidden away under the hood until somebody discovered it later. But activating SegWit for them would break their unfair advantage mining. And they didn't want to say that out loud. So they were just a holdout. Nobody knew why. And it was a user activated soft fork with an implementation that everybody agreed was a good idea in form of a soft fork that pushed it over the edge. And so with a lower activation threshold as well. In that instance, the threat of being wiped out for Bitmain was too much, and they cut their losses and they flipped. But it's important to note the difference in dynamic. What while it's not a perfect analogy, I would say that in terms of like amount of influence of change, I'd say the Bitmain to the 110 thing is similar, where you had to basically say like, well, okay, I'm out of consensus. Bitmain had to realize they were out of consensus. So nonetheless, funny, I got a couple more things here and then we'll chat. But Chris from Cedar was talking about the miners, the roughnecks that mined the first couple blocks. They began once again mining on the 110 chain. It's going very, very slowly. You can see, you know, it's basically every few hours they're maybe getting a block. So they got 4 days ago, 3 days ago, they stopped mining, and then 4 hours ago, and then 2 minutes ago. So blocks are going very, very slowly. I don't know what the leg of what like Bitcoin, how many blocks ahead it is. It's a lot though. It's like insurmountable at
100.
this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting economical decision.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, he's just kind of pointing out like the amount of money being burned here is staggering. The 110 coins, you cannot offload them. There's no market to be able to do so. And the Coinbase transaction, so when you mine and you get the Coinbase transaction, it's not spendable for 100 blocks. And these blocks are coming every 4 hours when this one entity is mining. So 100 blocks at 4 hours. So I just, you math it out. It's going to be some time to get even the first Coinbase transaction from the first block mined. Pretty wild. But let's go to the positive side of things. So I saw two things, and you know, it's tough. Like I understand everybody's very passionate. I understand the argument of like, we don't want bullshit on Bitcoin. You don't want spam. It's annoying. It's a pain in the ass. All of that. And it's also tough realizing that an effort that you put a lot of your mental capacity into did not work as planned. And so I understand people rightfully being upset about that. But I think the worst thing would be for people to fork off and go with whatever this ends up being at September 1st. I don't think that's going to be good. I also think that it's worth having people stick around who have differences of opinion around how these things should be developed. If anything, like if there's not consensus, it's the status quo. But you know, the biggest shame about this is there were a meaningful number of people starting to use knots, and it was an additional choice in the market. The market responded to development in and around core, and a subset of the market said, we don't like that direction, we're going to use this alternative. And it was a signal saying, listen, you're no longer pleasing everybody with this product or, you know, this offering. And so, you know, I don't want that option to go away. I'd like more options. So nonetheless,
one company I like pointing people to when they ask about Bitcoin mining is Abundant Mines. They were founded by Bo and Christine Turner after losing over $500,000 to broken promises in the mining industry. And they built their hosting model to remove the usual headaches. With Abundant Mines, you own your machines and keep 100% of the Bitcoin you mine. There's no revenue share, no hidden skims. Pricing is simple. One flat monthly fee covers power, parts, labor, and repairs. They also guarantee uptime. If a machine goes down, their hash rate redirect system routes hash power from their fleet so earnings don't just stop. And every machine is insured at full replacement value. Everything is hosted in the US, powered by Hydro, and mining equipment may qualify for 100% year one bonus depreciation. Learn more at abundantmines.com/sessions.
Rambling aside, this post from Reddit I quite like, and I'm going to I'll read it, and then he has a little video down below. He said, what BIP 110 represents, the idea behind it, as my friend Hodlanaut talks about, isn't wrong. It's what I personally believe too, Bitcoin being money. Totally agree. But the action itself, the fork, was an overreaction. Strategically, I believe it was the wrong move. A kind of ritualistic seppuku like that of Yuko Mishima in Japan in the 70s. Yes, it might inspire some people in the future, but we don't need more ghosts of in this space. We don't need another Nostrich strategy moment, which great comparison there. A lot of people completely deleted X, went over to Nostr, and then couldn't tell anybody else about Nostr. And it stagnated, right? Not to say that Nostr is going away, but it wasn't a sound idea. Why are we on YouTube? Because I want to do educational stuff for normies and new people. I can't just be on Nostr because I want to be able to reach people. And again, if you fork off and disappear to some shitcoin that is not going to have any liquidity or anything, that's not going to have any influence on the direction of development and the decentralization. Nonetheless, continuing on, we need you guys to stay here, stay now, and balance out the paper Bitcoin core strategies of this space that are emerging. Agreed. At the policy level, in the podcast, in the conferences, in the spaces, in the articles, in the memes, in the shitpost trenches, whenever you choose, Yellow will be right there next to you guys. When someone enters your house, you don't leave, you stay and fight for it. So every BIP 110er out there, shout it out loud. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. So I'll just play the,
I'm not leaving.
There we go.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here! They're gonna need to send in the National Guard a fucking SWAT team! Because I ain't going nowhere!
Leave it to Yellow to perfectly lighten the mood. I think it's great. But yeah, again, guys, the other inspiring thing, Canute. Canute had a great post, a recognition like, hey, there just wasn't consensus. I'm disappointed. I thought that 110 was positive, but I'm not going to fork off to some other random coin. I'm going to stick around and try to push forward, what I believe is right. But I'm going to stay in consensus. And rather than how he phrased it, I'm going to eat a piece of humble pie instead of double down pie. And yeah, that's great. So, Yellow, Canute, love you guys. Glad you're around. So, gents, who wants to dive in here? I know there's a lot, and I'm conscious of time, so let's keep going. Adam?
Yeah, dude, so much respect for Canute. Bitcoin has a way. I mean, hey, what did we say 2 weeks ago with the cold card stuff? Bitcoin has a way of humbling even the greatest. And I think that we need to, those that are sticking around, not taking a slice of double down pie, welcome them. Yellow, perfect sentiment. And I think that TikTok, next block, Ben, I love what you said. We don't just want a bunch of echo chambers marching forward. And probably the best form of Bitcoin is not 2 different versions, is probably 3. I think Jimmy Song said that, or at least I was the first to hear it, of like, let's get some differing opinions, let's get some diversity, and let's march our way towards better money together. I really was disappointed with the Civil War that tried to get fired up. And I think that, I'm bullish on where we ended up. I think we ended up in the right spot. I think consensus ruled. Just like the Bcash fork, we had some big blockers peel off. They can call themselves right, whatever. Like it just doesn't matter what they think. At the end of the day, Bitcoin is strong. Consensus remains. And that's kind of the beauty of a decentralized network. You don't get to be a purist. You don't get to be the leader. You don't get to be some altruistic, brute force juggernaut. You get to eat a slice of humble pie once in a while, even if, I think we all agree with the intentions. It just didn't work. and the way in which it went about was wrong. And yeah, so I think Bitcoin is as Bitcoin does, and TikTok next block, and be humble, stack sats, and all the rest of the sayings that we say, but for some reason don't believe. Let's get back to that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Brandon?
Don't trust, verify would be the other one, actually.
That's another good one to
There you go.
remind everybody. Yep.
so incredibly important, and we talked about this the other day. I think we mentioned it maybe on Monday, and we talked about this end of last week, that you have to be able to let people save face, and have grace for people, because we're all human. We've all effed up. We've all gone the wrong way. We've done things in our life that, hey, I learned, whatever it might be. So I think it's very important to have that. Don't be a dick to each other. Argue and debate and talk, your reasons, and go back and forth and debate stuff like that. But, there's no need to be a dick. Just let people save face. We need these people. We need the hardcore, remnant. Fortunately, there's many still in Bitcoin, but there's many that were going off another direction. And hopefully we're going to peel a lot of those people back, because we need those people. Like you guys just said, it's so important. We cannot go and do the libertarian thing of walking into the field of dreams and just disappearing and forfeiting it. Just, Rocky Wirtz, the Wirtz family owned the Chicago Blackhawks, and I think it was like 30 years ago. And he thought it was a good idea to take the Blackhawks off of TV. He said, you know what? You're not showing up to the game. I'm not going to put it on TV. Well, guess what happened? It just was even worse. The less people showed up to the game because it was out of sight, out of mind. No one even knew the Blackhawks existed. And so you have to show up. We need the energy, like we talked about. Energy is persuasive. The energy is the game, whether it's the AI and the compute, or it's Bitcoin saving your time and energy, or humans showing up, whether it's your local political stuff, getting involved, your local, children stuff, or homeschooling. Showing up and having energy and being the energy is the way forward at the end of the day. And we're only going to be able to do that together. We're small, irate minority right now, all of us, just Bitcoin in general, whether we forked off or not, we're still so small, like Adam mentioned earlier, and we are an echo chamber. So we do have to be very careful with that. We need everyone together going forward. So I'm so hopeful and feel there's so much abundance coming, but we want as many of these remnant, that people that think very similar to us, because those are the people that are going to build the foundation of the new world going forward. These badass individuals that are in Bitcoin now, or have been in for 17 years, that's an incredible group of people to have the power and energy going forward to build society on. And I'm very, very excited for that.
Yeah, I agree, Brandon. One thing I just want to hit on quickly. Speaking of, we're all deeply flawed human beings and we all make mistakes. Just want to give you guys a quick little update. Remember we talked about the SPLC lady who was giving money to her white supremacist boyfriend? Update. She's been arrested. So I thought that would be a fun little one. Close out that story. Hey, we all make mistakes. Sometimes you work for the Southern Poverty Law Center and you funnel money to your white supremacist boyfriend, and you get in a little bit of hot water for it. And then also just, ending on, I think, the more important things. Ross Ulbricht.
Oh, yeah.
Wife pregnant, first baby on the way. So
Amazing.
Something a little bit wonderful, a little bit awesome there. Bitcoiners, we are going to outbreed the communists. Ben?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean that's lovely to see. Much needed good news. Yeah.
Can we just
what a great
how
story.
good is that wife to stick it out, no end in
Right?
sight, by his side, faithful, 10 out of 10 woman,
Amazing.
just so good.
I thought that too earlier, Adam.
We should all aspire
So
to
cool.
find a woman like that. So awesome. Congrats to Ross and his beautiful wife.
So great. Awesome.
Agreed.
Well, gents, good a time as any to round out. But great conversation. Everything was fantastic here. Adam, I did want to, before we round out though, you are up to something, you're building something exciting, something's coming down the pipeline. What are you up to? What's currently top of mind for you?
Yeah. Tax advantages are top of mind for me. And so there's a few ways to do that. In the States, we've got some IRA stuff coming. And so that's less exciting, but still good. You can buy real Bitcoin in a tax advantaged way. But then in the state or in Canada, we are able to grow our light accounts. And so light accounts, I'm going to ask you guys to listen to what I'm saying very carefully here. Light accounts are a way you don't need full verification on your Bitcoin Well account. You can just confirm your phone number and email. And you're able to buy
any phone number and email. Can I get any? Can I use Silent Link and use that phone number?
Man, it's got to be your phone number and your email.
My phone number and my email.
Okay. You do own, Nathan. You can own a phone number.
Actually, I
That's right.
believe you can actually buy SIM cards if you wanted with Bitcoin. So there are.
I'm
like
doing
I
a
said-
video on that, Adam.
What you do?
I'm making a video on it this week.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And so so we're gonna be previously we had some lower limits on that, but we are able to increase those. So keep an eye on your email, log into your Bitcoin Wallet account. You'll be able to buy, I think we're gonna get to go up to $5,000 a day in a light account buying Bitcoin.
Excellent.
So really good
great.
news there for I called it tax advantages, but really it's just freedom advantages, right? We all want to maintain freedom. We buy Bitcoin in self-custody for a very good reason. When this nation falls, you don't want to be subject to 6102 or equivalent.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
It's always advantageous to to be able to have Bitcoin and not have to give every single tiny bit of information about yourself to sit in a honeypot. There's various dangers there.
The financial, we discount financial privacy. The average person thinks I have nothing to hide, so I should share everything. But that's just not the case. We all know what's sitting underneath our underwear, but no one's walking around naked. And when you give up your financial privacy, you're just walking around naked. And I think it's deeply concerning. I think we are the only platform in Canada able to offer light account and where you're able to buy Bitcoin in this way. And I think it's a passion of mine. It's a mission of ours to enable independence. And I strongly believe in the financial rights of Canadians. And so super pumped.
I'm just going to interrupt you super quickly and right at the finish line too. Just on that note, I saw this earlier this week. Attackers keep hitting the wrong house in rural France after crypto millionaire moved. So the guy doesn't even live there anymore, but his name and address is on the old lists. So financial privacy, it has its value. It even could protect the next person who owns your house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Wild. Well, gents, this was awesome. Again, go, especially if you can check out those new limits on the light accounts. If you're Canadian, go take a peek over at Bitcoin Well. And very, very useful. So thanks for the heads up, Adam. But gents, this was a blast. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for being here. And if I hope you took Yellow's words to heart. Stick around. We don't want people forking off and leaving. Come, join us. Help build the future. Even if last week was disappointing for you, we still want you here. So thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Drop a like, give a share. I'm Ben. This is Nathan, Brandon, and special guest Adam. And this was Bitcast. See you guys.
You know the world is heading down a dark path. Online censorship, central bank digital currencies, a complete loss of privacy, and it's only accelerating. Most people are falling behind with the latest technology, and those that aren't are sacrificing their data, their control, and their dignity just to keep up. That doesn't have to be you. Here, you'll have everything you need to break free. Over the past decade, I've helped 20 million people take control of their money, their data, and their digital lives. Now I'm bringing everything I've learned to one place. Sovereign Sessions is your home to learn, master, and live freedom tech. Bitcoin, AI, private communications, self-hosted tools, everything. Each week, I'll walk you through step by step with the most critical tools that put you back in charge. Don't ask permission, take control. Welcome to the Sovereign Sessions. Yes, you watching the Bitcoin price movements and the latest exciting news. It's awesome to stay informed, but the real power of Bitcoin comes from taking control. Don't just watch, take action. Head over to btcsessions.ca/learn for free step-by-step tutorials that guide you through every major skill you need to know, plus full video playlists for deeper dives on any topic you like. And if you're ready for the ultimate fast track, scroll to the bottom and check out bitcoinmentor.io for premium one-on-one experience with my team of Bitcoin experts to ensure you get it right the first time. Don't wait. Secure your Bitcoin future today. Hit the link in the show notes or scan the QR code on the screen.